Have you ever felt overwhelmed by guilt? Well, you're not alone. Guilt is a powerful emotion that we all experience at some point in our lives. But have you ever wondered what lies behind that overwhelming feeling? Today, we're going to delve into the psychology of guilt and discover how to effectively manage it. Let's talk about what guilt actually is. Guilt is a complex and powerful emotion that can deeply affect us on various levels. At its core, guilt is related to our moral conscience and our perception of right and wrong. When we believe we have violated some norm, value, or expectation, guilt often arises as an emotional response. It's important to note that guilt can be both internal and external. Internal guilt arises from our own evaluation of our actions and decisions, while external guilt can be imposed by others, such as society, family, or the culture we live in. This distinction is relevant because the way we perceive guilt can influence how we experience and address it. Guilt can manifest in various ways, from a mild feeling of discomfort to overwhelming distress. Often it is accompanied by other emotions such as shame, remorse, or regret. Shame focuses on who we are as people, while remorse and regret focus on our specific actions. It's important to understand that guilt, while it can be a sign that we have violated our own moral standards, can also be excessive or irrational. In some cases, we may experience guilt even when we haven't done anything wrong, due to unrealistic expectations or negative self-evaluation. So, how can we manage this complex emotion? Well, here are some effective strategies for dealing with guilt. Acknowledge your feelings. The first step in managing guilt is to recognize and accept your feelings. Don't try to ignore or suppress them, as that can only intensify them over time. Reflect on the situation. Take the time to reflect on the situation that is making you feel guilty. Was it really something you did wrong? Or are you being too hard on yourself? Try to see the situation from a more objective perspective. Accept responsibility. If you find that you really made a mistake, it's important to accept responsibility for your actions. Acknowledge what you did wrong and work to make amends as much as possible. Learn from the experience. Instead of getting stuck in guilt, use the experience as an opportunity to grow and learn. Ask yourself what you can do differently next time and what lessons you can take away. Forgiving yourself is a fundamental aspect of managing guilt in a healthy way. We all make mistakes at some point in our lives, big or small, and it's natural to feel guilty as a result. However, holding on to that guilt excessively can be detrimental to our mental and emotional health. Forgiving yourself involves recognizing and accepting our humanity. It means understanding that we are imperfect beings, and that making mistakes is an inherent part of the human experience. By allowing ourselves to forgive ourselves, we release an emotional burden that may be weighing us down and allow ourselves to move forward. Forgiving yourself also involves learning from our mistakes. Instead of perpetually punishing ourselves for what we did wrong, we can use the experience as an opportunity to grow and improve. Reflecting on our actions, identifying what we could have done differently, and committing to do better in the future helps us transform guilt into a catalyst for positive change. It's important to remember that forgiving yourself doesn't mean minimizing the importance of our mistakes or justifying our actions. Recognizing and accepting responsibility for our actions is crucial to the forgiveness process. However, once we have acknowledged our mistakes and done our best to amend them, it's important to let go of guilt and move forward with compassion and self-compassion. Realizing that we deserve a second chance is an integral part of the self-forgiveness process. We all deserve the opportunity to redeem ourselves and learn from our mistakes. Cultivating an attitude of self-compassion and self-love allows us to embrace our humanity and find the inner peace necessary to move forward with our lives. Remember, everyone makes mistakes and everyone experiences feelings of guilt at some point or another. The important thing is to learn to manage these feelings in a healthy and constructive way. So the next time you find yourself trapped in guilt, remember these strategies and give yourself permission to let it go. You deserve to feel free and at peace with yourself. And remember, managing guilt is not about being perfect, it's about being human. So allow yourself to feel, learn, and grow. If you've resonated with what we've talked about today, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Together, we can learn from each other and build a space of support and understanding. Thank you for joining this conversation, and I'll see you in the next video.